What is up? Hello, guys, and welcome back to my channel, GamePreneur. And today uh, we have another Super Nintendo from the US version, and this is batch number 4 that we need to sell. It's actually sold, and we just need to double check before we send it to the courier. Now, if you look at this, it's a clean one, so nothing much we can do here. All we have to do is just double check, test, probably a couple of days before sending it. Now, I promise the buyer that this can play Nintendo Famicom. So if I'm going to show you, this is the standard cartridge for the Super Nintendo. Now, if you just fit that in, it actually works. Okay, now for the Japan version, which is the Super Famicom, here we have this sample cartridge, and it looks curved and it's smaller than the US version. Would you look at that? Okay, now it has the same function but different design, and this one is a little bit smaller, but it's the same graphics if you play Super Famicom. Okay, so let's check that out. Now it will fit because it is bigger. I mean, the cartridge is smaller, and the only thing that's stopping this to be played here in this US unit is the physical lock, region lock, that was built by Nintendo to lock a particular region. Okay, so both US and Japan are doing NTSC. Okay, now we're just gonna cut that, but if we cut it, we might crack some plastic, so we're going to do a melting. Okay, so we're gonna melt the plastic, 2 of those. You see that plastic that's vertically on the screen right now. See that? That is the region lock. So if we remove that, we will be able to play the Japan version. Okay, now let's try to open it. Okay, welcome back. So before we open this up, I'm just going to tell you about the compatibility of these versions right here. Now, this is the Japan version. It has its own console. It's called Super Famicom. Okay, that's the Japan version. And for the US, it's Super NES, or Super Nintendo, SNES as they call it. Now, it has the same NTSC technology. That is the signal that the chip is using to be able to show on the screen. Now, the only difference here is the physical plastic. Now, it has the same pin as you can see on the screen right now. Even if I just swap this, that will work. Even if I just, some people don't want to remove that and just settling with swapping the chip inside, but for convenience, we can just remove that, and it's time, it's not a time consuming. If we just remove that, very convenient. You can just swap it, or use this without transferring the chip going to the US cartridge. Okay, now the only problem that we will face if you have a PAL version. So no matter a PAL game, you put it on this kind of cartridge, this 2 right here, it's not gonna work because the chip has a different one, and it's not gonna read, although it probably read somehow, but it will give you a message or a distortion on the picture. So in other words, it's not gonna work. It's not going to be playable. Okay. So if you have a PAL version, which is the UK version, you better have a UK console as well. Okay. So only Japan and US, that's the only compatible uh, console that we can use. All right. So as you can see, if you on the marketplace, if you see a PAL version, it's way cheaper because you are limited to games. Uh, there's a lot of games on the UK, in Europe probably, but here in the Philippines, in Japan, in US, we use the NTSC. Okay, now to show you a clear picture right here, so you can see that plastic can be removed without cracking this, because back in the days I used to cut it with force. Now the only problem is when you crack this one right here, it goes up there and the whole fitting of plastic will be destroyed. Okay, so we're just gonna melt that. I have a soldering iron ready, so we're just gonna melt one and then number two, and then this game will fit in right here. All right, so here we go. So you can see here, just gonna do some quick brush here, and then I think no need for detailing. It's a clean unit. Let's go to the close-up. As you can see, no cracks on the side. All of the sides, four sides are clear, and then just a dust that we just need to swipe. Okay, so here we go. Now this is what I'm talking about right here. All right, here we go. Okay, welcome back, guys. So we just removed the screw. It has 7 screw right here. Let me double check. One, two, three, 4, 5. No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of that holes. The screw has been removed. Now, this can be lifted carefully, but before you do that, there will be a spring here. Now, the spring looks like this. You might lose it. Oh my gosh, what happened there? Okay, let me just show you. This spring has gave me headache before because it jumps, and during night when I'm fixing consoles, it's really hard to get the spring or find the spring in the floor right now if you're working at night, what I mean. So this is the spring. It's located here. Now if you lift this one right here, this one jumps because it's locked into this place right here, going there. Okay, so just be careful with the spring. Make sure you remove that one first before you lift this plastic. Now, by the way, guys, the plastic, unlike in a Super Famicom, it's just the one diagonal part, but this one is the whole thing. It almost covers the 60% of the upper shell. Okay, so this one drops, no problem. We will just put it back later on. Okay, so we're going to remove it. Here we go. Now there's another spring here that you need to be careful. That one also flies everywhere, and you will be having a hard time if that one jumps. Okay, so just put that in place. Do not, you know, no need to remove it unless you're going to clean it. Make sure that one is removed. So there are two important spring that is hard to buy parts. It's really hard. You need to get it from an old console as well. You need to salvage a parts just to replace that one if you lost it. So very careful, guys. Now, my soldering iron is already hot and it's ready to melt. Just make sure you have those tools that we need. Use this cutter right here just to clean it after melting. And I use this to put the plastic here, those excess melted plastic that we will try to hit two of those, by the way. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna do it in real time. Probably I'll do some fast track on this, but I just want to show you how uh, more convenient, how convenient if you're going to melt it, not grinder, not cutting it with a blade or cutter. No need to, because you will crack this plastic. Okay, so here we go. All right. So as you can see here, we are running out of sun. So we're just gonna do this quickly, so we will have more light in doing so. Okay, so here we go. Oop, the temperature for this one, 480, according to my soldering iron. So here we go. Just gonna melt it. Now, make sure you have a face mask because the plastic is really, or smells annoying and irritating. By the way, I'm using a fan at the at my back. I'm using a bigger fan to blow the plastic smoke. Okay, so right there. Now the purpose for this one right here is to get it, but if it's already dry, you can use this cut cutter right here. This used to cut wires, small wires. Okay, so we're just gonna clean that one right there. Do it, cut it during uh, when it's hot. It's easy to cut. You can do just doing my hands right here just to show you. You can easily cut it. But if it's already cold plastic, it's not gonna follow the cut. Okay, so no need to you know do a perfect one right here because it's inside the console. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna. No, just kidding. Here we go. So just trying to get that one. Oh, okay. So there we go. See that? We have a clean one right here. Now I'm just gonna do the other one. Okay, let's do it. I'm not gonna cut the video. Let's do it right now. I've been doing this for a long time, so probably I'm good at it. I know where the weak part of the plastic. I'm just using my instinct here or experience. Now, if you are new, just try it with a different plastic for practice. Okay, you have to have a steady hand because you don't want to melt those sides right there. So yeah, just go. The tip, by the way, looks like this. Okay, so it has this cutting edge when we try to push the solder down there. Okay, so like I said, when it's hot, use your pliers or a cutter. Okay, now let me show you if there's an excess right here. So see that there is an excess plastic. So we're just gonna cover that one, just right in the edge with your hot iron, solder iron. Okay, you can easily, probably you will start with a colder temperature, because what I'm doing right now is I'm used to it. If you're doing it on the first time, you might create a hole there. Although I said it's inside, they're not gonna know. But personal, personally, if you know there is a hole there, that is a bad job. Okay, so yeah, just flatten out. Do it on the other side, just to flatten out. Just make sure you do it gently right there. Same with the other side right there. Now, no need to super flatten it because it will go in. No need to perfect. No need a perfect surface. That's okay. All right. So see that? We're just gonna do a cutting on the top, right in the edge, and there you go. I I'll try to do a fast video on this if it's getting bored for you guys. But if you're doing it, just play it on a regular speed of the video, or slower, because I'm gonna do a fast track, probably a 30% faster. You know, we have other viewers that doesn't want a very long video. Okay, so there you go. It's unlocking all region except for the European, because no matter what is the region lock located, or the plastic location of this hole right here, the chip compatibility is not going to work. So only Japan and US Super Famicom. Okay, don't use don't use obviously don't use Sega and the PAL version for Super Nintendo. All right, there you go. So that one is clean. Let's move on.